The Pleasure was Hero's first scooter in India, and back in 2006, it made quite a sensation for itself with the tagline, "Why should boys have all the fun?" But now the Pleasure's popularity has been relatively reduced. But Hero plans to spice things up with this, the Pleasure Plus. It packs a bigger and more powerful engine, a few new features, and yet cuter looks. So, is the Pleasure funky, practical, and most importantly, simple enough to again wow you to consider it over the more powerful options in the segment? This is the first major update for the Pleasure in 13 years. Yes, in the past, the Pleasure has gone through some updates, but they were more or less sticker jobs. This time around, the styling is completely new. The more curvy panels and the bigger headlamp, the Pleasure now looks a lot more retro. Like the headlamps, the tail lamps too have been replaced with a slimmer unit and get a black cover for a nice contrasting effect. It is now available in 7 colors along with 3 matte options as well. An LED headlamp would have surely jazzed things up more. Some might feel that the new styling is a little quirky, but we certainly think it looks cute. The Pleasure now comes with a bigger and more powerful engine. The new motor makes 8.15 PS of power and 8.7 Nm of torque. Because the curb weight has stayed exactly the same at 101 kgs, the Pleasure is now a lot more peppier. The bigger 110cc motor has been borrowed from the Duet and the Maestro Edge, and it certainly offers better performance. The extra horsepower helps the Pleasure to pick up pace more effortlessly from standstill, and it even feels more responsive when you open the throttle at speed. Keep it pinned and the Pleasure will reach an indicated 70 km/h effortlessly. Throttle response is also smooth and linear without any jerk no matter how hard you open the gas. It is still very easy to ride. The Pleasure was always very nimble on its feet, and given that the underpinnings haven't been changed a lot, the new Pleasure Plus is also very easy to ride in the city and is a breeze to flick between traffic. Even making U-turns is very simple. The part that shorter riders will enjoy the most is the reach to the ground. The low seat height, narrow seat and floorboard, coupled with its low weight, makes maneuvering in the parking lot a breeze. But because of its low weight, the Pleasure feels a little nervous at higher speeds and is best ridden at a more reasonable pace. Also, the feel from the brakes is very numb. You will have to squeeze them really hard if you want to stop quickly. The rear suspension feels a bit underdamped, as the sharper undulations and potholes can really be felt by the rider. You will have to slow down quite a bit over bumps for a smoother ride. The Pleasure Plus has received only a few minor feature updates. The biggest of the update is this analog instrument cluster, which has been completely revised from before, but it still gets a side stand indicator and all the important warning lights. A digital instrument cluster would have been a lot better and would have looked a lot more premium as well. The glove box compartment was earlier closed, but now is an open unit. It still houses a pocket for your phone and a USB charger to juice it up. It still retains the essentials like the integrated braking system along with the boot light under the seat. But what felt missing from the list is a combined lock which can operate the boot right from the ignition slot, or even the i3S system which the other Hero scooters are now getting. It now commands a minor price premium over the older variants. At Rs 47,300 for the steel wheel and 49,300 for the alloy wheel, the Pleasure is only Rs 2,200 more than the older variants. Hero is once again playing the price card with the Pleasure Plus. It undercuts its rivals by close to Rs 3,000 and really brings a strong value for money proposition. And because of the lower price, it puts up a strong fight against the Yamaha Ray Z, TVS Zest and the Honda Activa I. The updates to the Pleasure make it look better and helps it ride more effortlessly as well. It retains its easy riding ability, which is further enhanced with the new engine. But these updates do feel like they are in a little late and are only bringing the Pleasure Plus on par with the competition. We would have loved to see more features and a better ride quality, which would have given it a serious edge over its rivals. As things stand, The Pleasure's Edge remains its pricing. Is that enough to make a splash in the segment? Time will tell. But why don't you tell us what you think of the new Pleasure Plus in the comments below?